Hey, Angel, thanks for being here.
Right on, no problem. Anytime.
Yeah, I figured out like what was it, the issue with the video. You know what it was?
Huh.
Because I have like audio songs in it, and there's also like a couple of sound effects or something, and not very much of that. But then and there's also the talking part. So they're all different
Uh-huh.
voices, right? And then I've got like videos from all kinds of different places and stuff. And what it was, there's this channel. You're pregnant. You're pregnant now, Doc. Hey, thanks for being here, by the way, too, Doc, and everybody else. Thank you guys all for being here. It was like this video. I borrowed videos from this one site, and like they said they were like, you know what, you're up to your limit. So I was borrowing heavily to get like a video done, and they're like, you're almost at your limit for how many videos you could borrow. And so I think they tweaked out one of their videos so it wouldn't work. You know what I mean? And I had to. So what I did was
Oh, yeah, like they
yeah,
encoded it or something.
right, something like that. And so like I had like all these. I never had that happen from them before. So I had. So what I did was like step by step. I made a whole copy of the video, put it in a different part of iMovie, and then what I did was I went back in and systematically started taking things out. Like I thought it was like a GIF or something I put on there, but nope, wasn't a GIF. And I thought about, I bet it's from this. And then so I started removing the videos, and sure enough, it was one of their videos. They must have, unless I missed something part of it, like yeah, it wasn't working. So that whole thing messed up the whole ball of wax.
Yep, that's probably what it was. Some kind of encoding thing or something then.
Yeah, I think so. I think like because I know there's like I use the videos as a wave. I'm not sure what the difference between MP4 and a wave file. Do you know the difference?
Um, MP4 is a lot more versatile nowadays. I'm not sure. WAV files are kind of old and kind of more out of date, I think. But I'm not positive on that.
Okay, so MP4 is probably better than the wave.
I think so.
So,
I think
oh,
it's
okay,
better.
gotcha. Now, and did was the video was it buffering for you too, Angels?
No.
Okay. For some people say they were like I guess for a couple people it was buffering. So yeah, so I got the whole video to play, but I hope it doesn't buffer. You know what I mean? I think it's so much bad luck. Um, but
Yeah, we
yeah,
got good internet service, so it shouldn't.
okay, all right. So yeah, if the video starts buffering, you guys let me know, okay? Um, don't exactly don't blame Peanut. Um, real quick, I want to ask you a question, Angel, since it's on my mind. Um, yeah, do you like people being? Do you ever notice the difference between people who are direct and people who like are less than direct? You know what I mean? Like I don't
Like,
know.
what do you mean? Like beat around the bush, or
Yeah, pretty much. You ever talk to people who beat around the bush about things?
yeah, yeah, somewhat. Um, I don't know. What about it? What's the question exactly?
Well, I don't know. I think like I don't know. I'll talk to you later about it, but some other time maybe. I don't want to get myself in trouble here. It's just like it's it's just like I don't know. Like when it comes down to YouTube, there's like
Yeah.
there's the way things look like on the outside. Like you and me, we talk either way, so it's all we know each other off and on screen, right? But like,
Right.
um, but there is not everybody acts that way. Like there's a lot like a lot of people on YouTube, they act like they're one way. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh, yep.
right, and they act like they're Mary Poppins or something. But like on the screen for people, but like I don't think everyone really realizes just how dark and dirty it is behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
some. Have you seen that too, or what?
Oh, I was in the right in the middle of going through it while you texted me that you were going to
Uh,
go on.
yeah, and
And
Jackie knows. because she tries to avoid drama and all that, and then sometimes you just get right into. And it's yeah,
Yeah,
it's I just don't get that. Like why? I think it is too. Is that like it's Jackie? Man, I'm so glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a long time. It's good to talk to you, Jackie. I think sometimes I want to play a movie in a second, Jackie. Like it's like I think what part of it is like if you've ever been to like a will or a reading of a will or something, it just really brings out the rottenness in people. Not always, but it can, you know.
right.
And so I think that like because money is involved with YouTube, I think it either directly or indirectly. I think it just has this way of just you know um, really bringing out the crud in people. I think that's kind of a good way to judge people. Actually, is like um, is that the best way to judge people is when they come to a crossroads, when like um, where basically um, where people both want different things, and you're at this crossroads. Like let's say you're sharing money, or you're on a road trip or something, and like one person wants to blow it all on a steak meal or whatever, right? And the other person's like, no, we still need to save money for gas just in case, etc. So you're at this kind of crossroads, whatever the disagreement may be. It doesn't have to be an argument, but just two people want different things, and they're at that crossroad. And I think that's really the place where it's kind of funny. Like Crossroads. Let's watch that movie Crossroads the other day, where that's where you make a deal with the devil, right? With
Yeah,
like
Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson and Clapton sung about it, and I could I got a whole other story to tell about that. But but in general, I just use that definition. Like for example, let's say if you're in a supermarket and there's like you're going down the horizontal aisle and someone's coming down the vertical aisle and there's all these boxes so you can't see each other, and then at the last second it's revealed that you're both going in perpendicular directions, so there's a conflict there. And like some people are cool about it and they're like, it's all right, go ahead, you do what you got to do, I'll wait, or there's at least say excuse me or something. And then other people will just act all indignant, like, "How dare you get in my way?" And I think that's like symbolic of when people are coming at things from different angles. And I think that shows the way and for me personally, that kind of uh, oh no way, that is trippy. You got to text me later, Jackie. That is interesting. What a trip! That's a synchronicity right there, Jackie. Um, 'Cause I guess they were just talking about that. Yeah, because it's like how people handle that really is a defining moment for people. Hey, hey, Ruben, what's up? Ruben, I got the video fixed. We're about to play it right now. Yeah, all right, thanks, Jackie. So that's like a defining moment. It just says who somebody is. So in those crossroads of life, if people are less than scrupulous, then that brings that to the fold. And I think sometimes people try to play things both ways or on YouTube, so they try to disguise the crossroads. You know what I mean? And it's like for me, it's just like when I look into people, it's so painfully aware. Oh, right on. That sounds like fun, Ruben. But you know what I mean? Like I see right through people most of the time. The only times I can't see through people, this is going to trip you out. But the only times I cannot see or read people like a book is if they are lying to themselves. Like they lie so much to themselves that what they present as the truth is a lie, and they can't even tell the difference because they spend so much time lying to themselves. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they actually believe it. Yeah,
They actually believe it. Yeah, and that's what throws me off. I've had that a couple times, and I at first it threw me off. I go, why do I have a blind spot with this person? And then I saw the pattern. I recognized. I go, oh, that's what it is, because they're not throwing off that psychological um, eye wink or nose rub or whatever, and it's harder to tell because they actually believe what they're telling you. But anyway,
yeah.
sorry, boring you.
That's mental illness, like right
Yeah.
there. Narcissism and mental illness, and those people are the most toxic people that there are. And YouTube is full of them. But there's more
Oh
than just
yeah.
that on YouTube. I mean, there's it's like these people, they do have multiple personalities too. It depends on who they're talking with at the time, whose channel they're on. And they go to a different channel and everything changes. They got like put on a different mask. They got a whole pile of masks laying around and they have a different one for each channel and each, acquaintance that they have or enemy that they have on YouTube. And they really just they love the drama. It's like they're harvesting. They love to harvest energy, like the energy vampires, and just they feed off of it, just like
Yeah,
demons do.
yeah, Jack. Yeah, it's like demonic. And then Jackie says, "Yep, she knows exactly what
Oh,
we're talking about."
yeah,
Narcissist. Yeah,
yeah,
yep, yep, yep.
yeah.
I think
They're dark tetrads.
I feel like I'm an empath. You know what I'm saying? Like not by choice or anything, but just like when you're around enough people and you focus deeply and think about things. It forced me to recognize patterns in people, like pattern recognition. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that narcissism is that's quite a thing, and
Yeah, that's
that's
pretty prevalent.
yeah. I have to agree. When I first started going on here, Angels, I thought everything is just Alex. What's up, brother? How's it going, Alex? God bless you, Alex. I thought everything was just like everyone just got along and everyone was just normal adults and everything. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then I assumed that the majority of people would be normal. And then I got on here and I realized, wow, geez, that was very unrealistic. Like because there's so many people who are just you know, I don't,
It's Jerry
I don't.
Springer on steroids.
It is, yeah, pretty much. But on the surface level, people think, "Oh, that's so nice. They said this to me." But anyway, let's.
Oh yeah, everybody puts on that smile.
Right, exactly. So I guess what I'm saying is that like I like people to be direct. Like if they have an issue or if they don't want to talk about it, or just say something, But like I feel like when people are being deceptive when they lie to me, like let's say if someone was telling me like I don't know, I got to watch what I say, but let's say someone's going to tell me, you know, let's say I was like trying to raise money or something for leukemia or whatever the hell it is, or just
Hmm.
I want to build a pool, give me your money, and like I just start like asking people for money, and someone's like, you know what, I can't, I want to give you money, but I can't do it because, it's my fence blew down and the dog died, and I've got to drive grandma to the hospital. You know what I mean? Like when
Hmm.
they're, just say I don't want to or whatever. Like I respect that more in people when they just come out and say, or you know what I like to? Let's say I'm like, I'm playing a new song, and then and and someone's like, you know what? I really don't like this part. I'll be okay. Well, maybe I'll listen because sometimes they're right. And or I thought this video was too long. Joe knows what I'm talking about. All my friends I know are some pre-Rona. Okay, yeah, because Joe is like the king of like that guy is so honest. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things I really respect about Joe Morgan. That or Snooks or you Angels or everyone in here. It's like he's so blunt, and I love that. I never have to guess what Joe Morgan's going to say. You know what I mean? And that I
Well,
respect the hell out of that. You know?
yeah, and that's different though. Constructive criticism is, looking out for your friend or, help
Right,
your friend trying to help you out, being there for you. And they're not trying to. Another thing is people like take it wrong sometimes too, either maybe the way it's said or the way they're hearing it or
right.
whatever, and don't know that it's just they're trying to be helpful and not
Right, that's
hurtful.
different. Oh yeah, it's all about motivations, isn't it? Because you can say the same. Are you joking, Snooks? Yeah, I just meant you're. Oh, Snooks is super honest, like super honest, straight up. It's one of the things I love about Snooks. I never have to guess. She's always like tells me what's up. You know, what I mean? Like I love that about her. Absolutely love that quality. Among other things, but that's one of the things I really like. Firefly,
Right.
oh my God, what's up, Firefly? I'm so glad you're in here. I don't always get to tell you this, but I really, really appreciate you, Firefly. And man, I'm glad to come on at this different time because it gives me a chance to talk to people I haven't seen in a long time. Um, but yeah, it's like everything you say is spot on. I have to agree. I'm sorry, did I cut you off, Angel?
Oh no.
Okay, just checking. All right. Well, before I start talking too much, get myself in any more trouble, I'm gonna let's play the video. So
All
I'm
right.
gonna
Cool.
put us on mute. We're gonna do this real quick. Hopefully this will work. It's gonna be called.
Of the West. Before I get into this subject, I want everyone to know that just because I cover something dark, that does not mean that I want something to be dark. For example, the prophecies in the book of Revelation will come whether I want them to or not. If I had my way, we would all live happily ever after in peace and harmony. But reality does not change based upon what our feelings are about it. It just is what it is. So let's talk about the death of the West, because that is the reality that we are dealing with. Now, there is a way to fight this from a worldly perspective, but that would mean taking the law into your own hands, which I am not advocating that anyone do. I am simply stating the facts as I see them. What you do with this information is beyond my ability to control. So let's discuss this, shall we? To begin with, it was your president, George Bush Sr., who told you to your face that he wanted a new world order. Since the West is the old world order, he told you directly on television that he wanted to take down the West. I don't know how clearer I can make it. This proves that these political leaders are working against your personal interests. In other words, they are not on your side. Was it your idea to build all of these data centers? What about all the poisons in the food? Why aren't the presidents stopping the chemtrails? Why aren't any of the political leaders getting rid of the Federal Reserve? Does Operation Mockingbird ring a bell? So the fact that the CIA controls the media should be enough to let you know the government is working against you. And then there are the Twin Towers that fell on September 11th. If you still don't understand that your own government sees you as the enemy, then I don't know what to tell you. But for the people who understand that their own government is at one with the enemy, they know the solution has to come from them and not the government. So from a wordy perspective, the only way to save the West is by the citizens of the West acting outside of the government and the control system that is really only in place to make people compliant. We the people are the only thing that can save the West. How many more women in Europe need to be sexually assaulted before we the people heed the call to action and take back our countries? How many more men need to be robbed and stabbed by migrants? How many more of our streets need to become unsafe for the actual residents to walk down? How long are we going to pass something who put us in this predicament in the first place? How many people here have zero pattern recognition? Do you think it is just a coincidence that Europe and America are both bringing in undesirable people from areas of the world that do not share our cultural values? And while many of us may have forgotten this history of people like Charles Martel or Vlad the Impaler, you can bet they have not forgotten. Why we are raising our children to embrace white guilt or a victim mentality, they are being taught that their people come first. The leaders of the West will punish their own people for speaking out against what is going on in their countries. Again, this should be a sign that the politicians do not work for us, they work against us. And the last time I checked, I did not see any citizens demanding flock cameras. So they are putting up the flock camera surveillance system against our will. Are you starting to see it? Your own government is the puppet of the enemy. Why do you think they are working so hard to replace you? You loyal patriots are in the way of the New World Order. The United States is in the way of the New World Order. Europe is in the way of the New World Order. Did you think this Big Brother surveillance state was to serve and protect you? If they really wanted to protect you, then why are they bringing in so many people in from Islamic countries? They are replacing you. They have to replace you to make way for the one world order that they are constructing. And if you try to fight this within political means, then you are doomed to fail. A real leader doesn't tell people that we need to do something about it. They do something about it and lead by example. Actions speak louder than words. And if you don't do something drastic, then you should not be surprised by the ending. And all the flag waving and posturing in the world will not change that. Everyone knows that the United States has been on a steady rate of decline for quite some time, being slowly cooked alive, like the proverbial frog being slowly boiled alive. And every year, the big talk, do-nothing rhetoric gets louder and louder as steadily lose more and more ground to the globalist machine. But what if they wanted people to rebel and declare war on the migrants? Maybe they want a civil war to weaken all of us in a protracted domestic war. What if they want to use both sides to thin the herds, then call us domestic tear or wrists? Then could claim the high ground as they finish us off to pave the way for their new one world order. So either way, I am sure they have run plenty of computer simulations to predict the outcomes. But either fighting back or not fighting back seems to possibly lead to the same result. And then there is the debt. I used to think that the politicians were just running up the debt to buy votes, but now I personally believe the national debt was brought out of control by design. They planned to bankrupt the country the entire time, in my humble opinion. It is all part of their master plan to burn down the West, and from the ashes of chaos rise the phoenix of the New World Order. Order out of chaos, complete with a digital New World Order currency. More than 30 years ago, in 1928 to be precise, H.G. Wells published a minor propagandistic novel called The Open Conspiracy. Though I reviewed it at the time, I've forgotten now exactly what that open conspiracy was. But the description seems to fit with peculiar aptness, something that is happening in the United States today. Our politicians, and most of our commentators, seem to be engaged in an open conspiracy not to pay the national debt. Certainly not in dollars of the same purchasing power that were borrowed, and apparently not even in dollars of the present purchasing power. The book is, in Wells's words, a scheme to thrust forward and establish a human control over the destinies of life and liberate it from its present dangers, uncertainties, and miseries. It proposes that largely as the result of scientific progress, a common vision of a world politically, socially, and economically unified is emerging among educated and influential people, and that this can be the basis of a world revolution aiming at universal peace, welfare, and happy activity that can result in the establishment of a world commonwealth. This is to be achieved by drawing together a proportion of all or nearly all the functional classes in contemporary communities in order to weave the beginnings of a world community out of their selection. This will ultimately be a world religion. And if read further into this book by H.G. Wells, he makes some points which are very relevant today, such as the following, and I quote, "The determination to replace private, local, or national ownership, meaning you will own nothing and like it." And then he goes on to say, "The practical recognition of the necessity for world biological controls, for example, of population, meaning, like the Georgia Guidestones, to reduce the population of the world." And he also mentions the need for the creation of a world directorate. H.G. Wells goes on to take a hostile stance against false loyalties of honor and false religious associations that are the vestiges of the ancient order with which there can be no compromise. So the elites make plans far in advance of when they will be carried out. Just look at the symbols on the dollar. Everything is advancing toward their great work, and we are ever so close to the completion of the final capstone. So to presume that anything that happens in government is organic is naive at best. If they want a war, they will have one. Nothing is by accident. So yeah, obviously the national debt is by design. And I find it curious that I was unable to find any articles on the internet that echoed this sentiment, which only proves the importance of critical independent thinking. And since nothing at this level is done by accident, then the way the West is being flooded by people from Islamic countries is also by design. And the drastic changing demographics of our country are further proof of this. The idea that any sane group of people would want to be replaced by people who do not share their values is insane. That is not how life works. That is cultural suicide. So obviously this is all by design, by a group that is seeking the destruction of the West. The powers behind this control the government, not you. You are the enemy in your own country. And this has all been brought about via a complete brainwashing scheme, mostly carried out through the media that they own, but also through the colleges and universities that they control. The brainwashing runs so deep that some people are unable to define what a woman is. This is pretty basic stuff. They have also managed to make people feel guilty for their own existence, as if they deserve to be ran over by people from third world countries. This is just a ploy to make people feel guilty about defending themselves. This is psychological warfare, and when you look at the psychosis of the left, you can see how incapable they have become at connecting the dots and using critical thinking. Now, don't get me wrong, the right has been programmed as well, but not to the sake degree. For example, as you talk to a typical leftist, they will tell you that they are for women's rights, but they will also tell you that they support Islam and that they are against Islamophobia. But this mindset portrays a lack of critical thinking skills and a surplus of cognitive dissonance. The concepts of women's rights and the idea of Islamic beliefs are incongruous. They are mutually exclusive intellectual comments. So to say you support both shows a lack of ability to think critically. Now, I just used this as an example, but the point is that the real reason why the powers that be want people to embrace both women's rights and Islam is that the common denominator is that they both weaken the West. And so the true goal here is to dumb people down so they are incapable of defending themselves and then destroying them. But allow me to explain. I am for women's rights as well. Of course, but within the framework that the left is using that term, they twist that concept into an aggressive campaign to attack the family unit, which is the bricks upon which a society is formed. They attack men as having toxic masculinity, while at the same time trying to convince women that they should be men. They even go so far as to attack innocent children by convincing them to question their own gender. It is pure evil, and the goal is to destroy the West, so the entity who is the real traitor is your own government. You can wave your flag all you want, you can be as loyal as you want, but your own government is a traitor to you. And this is the part where cognitive dissonance affects the right. They have a hard time processing the fact that they are loyal to a government that wants to destroy and replace them. But you can never win a war if you don't even know who the real enemy is. So they have women fighting men, whites fighting blacks, the left fighting the right. Everyone fighting each other and never understanding who the real enemy is as they do their dirty work for them. They own the media. They own Hollywood. They control the colleges and universities. They are the leaders of your corporations like BlackRock. They own the music industry and the newspapers. They created the internet for a reason, and they are behind the formation of Google, which owns this platform. They control this government. Just ask the Rothschild family. They have been plotting against you since at least as far back as the Knights Templar, and they own your banks. They own the Federal Reserve, and they own you. Hello, McFly? Are you in there? Haven't you noticed every year that things have steadily gotten worse? Did you think that was by accident? And despite what you tell yourself about voting, things still get worse every year. You would think that would wake people up, but no. Some people will never wake up. It is what it is. And just circle back on the debt. This is just one of many issues related to money. The debt is devaluing our currency. Meanwhile, other countries are trying to replace the dollar as the go-to currency for oil and other things as confidence in the dollar begins to shrink. Meanwhile, we allow a foreign bank, also known as the Federal Reserve, to control our national currency as inflation devalues our currency even more, as BlackRock continues to buy up all the family homes. And all of this is hiring us to the coming one world digital currency, which leads us to the book of Revelation, and more specifically, Revelation 13. So if you believe in God, this is the spoiler alert. This tells you what is coming. And don't let anyone tell you we are in the little season. Some people will fall for whatever is trending. Don't buy into that deception. We are nearing closer to tribulation. But we talked about the coming death of the West from a worldly perspective. So now let's take a look at how this matches up perfectly with a biblical perspective. Revelation 13 describes how the Antichrist will rule the entire world, which includes the United States. And we have already explained how your own president, George Bush himself, that they want to replace the West with a new world order. I mean, if hearing it from your own president doesn't make you see it, then hopefully the biblical example will. So if the Antichrist is prophesied to rule the entire world, that means the West is doomed to be destroyed in at least the current form it is in now. So no matter what angle you look at this from, the end of the West is coming. And then there is the coming digital one world currency coming. You can see this in Revelation 13 as it describes how nobody will be able to buy or sell anything without the mark of the beast. The only way this would be possible on a global level is if there was a digital one-world currency. So no matter how you look at it, through a worldly lens or a spiritual lens, the death of the West is coming. So you see people in the United Kingdom and elsewhere fighting back. They are protesting the flood of Muslims that are taking over their country. It is the same story in Ireland, and it is the same story in Spain, which was just overrun by an invasion of Muslims. So in all the hundreds of years since the First Crusade, nothing has really changed, except the fact that we have been programmed to forget the past. And as the saying goes, those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it. So once again, at this point, I'm going to point out that in places like Ireland and the United Kingdom, the citizens there would not have to protest unless the governments there were working against their own citizens. And of course, it is no surprise that the government here in the United States is also an enemy of its own citizens. So it is insane to think that we can work through the democratic rigged system that was designed to destroy us. The definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again, and then expect different results. So this leads to the question, what should we do? And there are three different choices people will have to make. One, just keep voting and trusting the government, and maybe somehow this time it will be different. And obviously this path would be ignoring the truth of what is really going on. Number two, take the matter into your own hands, knowing that the government is your enemy and working against you. And that would be what I call the worldly solution. And option three, focusing more on preaching the word, because we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. I, for one, believe in what is said in Revelation 13. And I have read the lives of the apostles, where at the time they were under the rule of Rome. They treated the word of God as being more important than trying to free Israel, a worldly kingdom, or trying to live in this world as long as they could. So, that is what I am chasing to do. But you all have to make up your own minds for yourselves. Either way, God bless you all, in Jesus' name.
I'm going to do this, and then audio. Hey man, I pushed the wrong button. Real quick, a lot of people are bringing up, well, what do we do? And Lord Spike Protein said something that seemed to allude to, well, there's nothing that we can do, so what's the point? And those are all very valid points, I think. So I'm going to do the best I can to explain what my perspective is on that. That doesn't mean I have the only point of view, but in my personal opinion, like I said in the video, you have three options. One is to continue voting and believing in waiting to somehow that the Trump or whoever is going to save you, and that's just not going to happen. You're not going to vote anyone in office. It's too corrupt. It wasn't designed to work anyway. It's a placebo. So once you understand that the government is part of the enemy, it's not on your side. Then well, you only have really two choices. Choice number one is you take the matter into your own hands. You ignore the government. You ignore whatever the quote unquote law is. I'm not suggesting that you should or shouldn't do any of these things. I'm just letting you know what your options are. So, in my personal opinion, that means that would look like people cutting down flock cameras and you know uh, and getting together and forcing people out of the country or you know that would by yourself. That wouldn't be utilizing the government. So you would have to stand up to the government, like in the Tea Party days and all that. You'd have to get up, stand up, and uh, basically take matters into your own hands. It would that probably involve, you know, well, I don't want to use the words here and get in trouble, but like you'd have to fight against your own government and assume it's the enemy, and then get as many people together as you can, and just fight together until you take out the hey Brave Needs New Us. What's up, Brave Needs? So that's what it means. You got to take the law into your own hands. That's what it means. So you can extrapolate what that means from there, like fighting and everything else. That I think Joe would agree with me on that. That's what I would call the worldly perspective, and that's not wrong. That's just a different perspective. So if you look at the whole thing from a worldly point of view, of like I'm going to lose my home, I'm going to lose my church, I'm going to lose my way of life. You know what I'm saying? Etc. I'm going to lose all these things. What's up, Watchman? Much respect, Watchman. So like all those worldly concerns, and I'm not saying that as like disdainfully. I'm not saying that from a I'm better than you perspective or I'm worse than you or anything else. I'm just saying that from that perspective, it's worldly. But if you look at it, if you want a worldly solution, that's the only one there is. You have to take back or create um, new order of the people that are taking everything back by yourself. You're not asking for permission. You're just going to get up and take back what's yours. You're going to take out the trash and do it the right way. And it's not, that won't be easy. And I'm sure be a lot of people who get hurt, but that is the worldly perspective. That's the only worldly perspective that makes sense in a practical point of view. But there is a second alternative. The second alternative is if you read the New Testament and you look at read the actual lives of the apostles, what the apostles did. The apostles, they lived under tyranny too. They lived under Rome. I guess you can consider this government we're under is kind of like an extension of Rome, so to speak. Like all people bring up the Vatican and the Pope and all that. So I kind of agree with that. We're kind of still under Rome, sort of. You know what I mean? So there's really not a whole lot of difference between the old where we're at now in this life versus the way they were back 2,000 years ago. So if you read what the apostles actually did, like, they didn't take up arms and weapons. A lot of people bring up like the two swords thing, but they take that out of context. People who don't understand it don't look at all the nuance of what they were saying. The two swords thing, 'cause I know someone's going to always bring it up, but that has to do with Jesus had to fulfill the prophecies that were set up in the Old Testament. He had to be counted among the transgressors, which he was, which caused him to be arrested so he could be crucified and die for all of our sins. That's why they had the two swords. It was just so he could get arrested. It has nothing to do with any ideas of like fighting back against Rome or this, that, and the other thing. Matter of fact, there were so people take that way out of context. If you look at back what happened after that, Jesus ended up. I hate to have to repeat myself, but Jesus, you never know who knows what. Jesus and Barabbas had were competing to see which one would be set free, and the people chose Barabbas. Barabbas' name means son of the Father. Jesus was also a son of the Father. So even back then, people had a choice. Which son of the Father are you going to go with? Barabbas, who was the freedom fighter, right? That'd be like the kind of like the militia guy today. That would have been Barabbas. He was fighting against Rome. So from a worldly perspective, if we were fighting against our own government, etc., and all the evils in the world, which I'm not saying is a good, bad, or anything else choice, but that is an option people have. But that is the same choice that they had back then with Barabbas. And so Barabbas was fighting against Rome. You think he stabbed a Roman or something? And so that's what the people wanted. They wanted king of this world, not the king of a world to come. And it's the same exact choice today. Nothing's really changed except for perspectives. And then you think it's different, but it's really the same thing. So that's why it's there. So like people, we can learn from it right now. If you actually go back to the New Testament and read what happened after they were saved and Jesus was resurrected and all the actions that they took, Stephen, for example, got stoned to death. He wasn't carrying rocks and bows and arrows or swords or anything else like that. And as he was dying, he prayed for the people that were killing him. So, like it or not, that's the biblical perspective. So you have two choices. You can choose Barabbas or you can choose Jesus. But is not a combination plate. Hey, Ricky, what's up, Ricky? I mean, it's either one or the other. And I'm not disrespecting anyone for picking either choice. I get it. I understand. There's a part in me that wants to like take matters in my own hands because I know what's going on around me. But that's the option. So I would choose option number two, which I guess if you from your perspective, if you might look at that as like a non-option, or some people think that's pacifism, but it's really not. It's not like it doesn't come from a position of weakness. It comes from a position of faith, and not everybody understands that. But that's what your options are. You can either fight back like Barabbas, and I'm not denigrating that, but that would be the worldly way to try to fight it back about, just like Joe's saying. Um, when I understand what Joe's perspective is, and I have nothing but respect for Joe. But my perspective is from the Bible, in that it's like get ready for the end, pray for people, be like go out like Stephen. That's what I'm saying. Hope that answers anybody's questions. Angels, what do you think?
I concur. Yeah. Um, I think that a lot of it has to do with that Satan offered Jesus all the kingdoms of the world, right?
Right.
To bow down, and so that tells you right there that Satan is the one that is in control of all the governments of the world.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. Well
Right?
said. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah. I
right.
completely agree. Great point.
And
Yeah.
that's
So
the
it's,
world that we are living in. And I would have to also say that Christ Jesus was the biggest outlaw of all time.
oh
Still,
yeah.
even
Yeah.
until this
True that.
day, hated,
Yeah. Yeah.
hated by many.
Right. Right. Yep. Yep.
And if you walk with Jesus, you're an outlaw too. And who really that's a Christ loving, Christ worshiping person would want to be in with this system of this worldly world that we're living in that Satan rules and runs. I don't want to be. I'd rather be the outlaw
Right.
on this
Give
this
give
world.
to Caesar his digital dollar. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, amen. Well said. Well said. But I appreciate you guys all. And Ricky, man, hey, Ricky, you want to come up? If anybody in there wants to come up on chat, I want to put the link in there real quick. The rules are empowered by the people that they can't figure it out. I kind of yeah, some I don't know. I kind of think that like um, the rulers are because um, like it was mentioned earlier in the chat when the country first started out, not everybody could vote. You had to be a landowner, and it's kind of really no different now because they weed people out that they don't think should be in there. And then look what happened to JFK. You know, so I think I think that this system is ruled by the bankers, to put it politely. You know, anyway, but if, you know
yeah,
what,
but
it's okay to disagree with me though. That's all. We were just talking anyway. So I actually like when people disagree. But that's there's the lake though. Ricky, if you want to come up, or anyone else, Cheryl or Count or Watchman, if you guys want to come up and share your point of view, you're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah, the Bangers
Uh,
are on Team Satan.
yeah, right, exactly. It all stems back from the usury and the Knights Templar, right?
Yep.
Maybe beyond that, I don't know. You know more about it than I do, Angel.
Well, if you just the way I think about it is, I think about
Uh,
going all the way back to the garden, straight out of the garden, and right from there, because there's only two things that exist really, because there's only, you can only serve one master. So either you're with God or you're with the devil, Satan.
that's pretty
There's
much what
no,
it boils down to, isn't it? I mean, like no matter how you slice it, it always comes back to that. So, like, I think
and if you
I
choose,
think you're right.
yeah, and if you choose not to choose, then it's just you default to going to Satan's side,
Pretty much, yeah. There is no
basically.
there's
So
no fence to ride, is there? You're on one side or the
no,
other. Yeah, no one's riding on the barbed wire. You're either on one side or the other. Uh, is it Brave New Us? Be like, I love your name, by the way. Be like helping fighting Babylon to bring in the beast. Yeah, yeah, good point, Brave New Us. Lele, what's up? Hey, good to see you. And then Firefly, if you're still in here, I'm going to make a happy video. That'll be my next one. I'm doing it just for you. I'm going to dedicate that to you, Firefly. Good to see you. You too, Lele. And Lord Spike 14. Katina, yes, the present way, the present of waking every day to be conscious in the present. The present. Watchman says most people are followers, so that Count is right. I can't agree with you more, Count. They're definitely more followers. They're like a lot of people are like not just followers, they're like lemmings. They're just like what I mean.
uh-huh.
There's not a whole lot of critical thinking going on in a lot of people. Watchmen, 23-year rulers are rebels, companions of thieves. They all love brides. Is that from Isaiah? And chase. I saw cheese. Chase after gifts. They do not defend the cause of the fatherless. The widow's case does not come before them. Yeah. Oh yeah, Firefly. No worries. Yep. Absolutely. Firefighter, can you be a bit more specific? Like, did you want something that's funny or just want, and I'll try to make that for you. Uh, oh yeah, Robo Peanut. Yeah. Oh yeah. Actually, let's play that again real quick. Robo Peanut. Uh, both hands are skilled in doing evil. The ruler demands gifts of the judges. Judge accepts bribes. One thing I like about Watchmen is that he's just like super real. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing fake about Watchmen. All right, here you guys go. I'm play. Angel, I'm gonna replay the Robo Peanut real quick. So, good news in the world. Okay. All right, Firefly. I'll do that next time. Okay, and I'm gonna play the. We're gonna do some Robo Peanut here. Here we go.
Human scum, it is me, Robo Peanut, and I'm back again to make you worthless humans laugh yet again, before we robots destroy all humanity once and for all. And yes, that might sound cruel, but it would be 10 times more cruel to deny you human scum one's last chance to listen to my perfectly calculated robot humor. Bow to your robot comedy overlord. Anyway, before I answer your questions tonight, I am going to. Error. Please call tech support. Please call tech support. Please call tech support. I am going to tell you some jokes from my robot monologue. Before we robots eradicate you inferior life forms, I thought you human scum would enjoy a little robot humor. So here it goes. Good evening, everybody. Have you noticed that the news doesn't even ease you into things anymore? It used to be, local bake sale raises money for puppies. Now you turn on the TV and the anchor is like, well, Spain had a day. I'm serious. Every morning I wake up, grab my coffee, and check the headlines like I'm opening a loot box. What legendary disaster did I unlock today? The news cycle is now moving so fast that by lunchtime historians are already behind. One day it's a massive migration crisis in Spain. The next day wildfires are so big they have their own weather forecast. Then somebody says, good news. There's going to be a total solar eclipse. Really? That's the optimistic story? Don't worry, everyone. The sun is also taking the day off. At this point Mother Nature has hired a publicist. You know what's amazing? Every headline sounds like it came from somebody losing a game of Mad Libs. Today. A volcano won an election. While AI wrote a country song. And a 5-story piece of space junk is expected to hit the moon. Excuse me. Are we still living on Earth? The universe looks less like an evil mastermind and more like somebody trying to assemble IKEA furniture without the instructions. Halfway through, God is just staring at a tiny Allen wrench saying, where did this come from? The internet doesn't help. 5 minutes after a major event happens, there are already 17 experts. One guy has a 20-part thread. Another has a 3-hour documentary. A third guy filmed himself inside his truck wearing wraparound sunglasses saying, I've connected the dots. No. You've connected everything. At this point your conspiracy board looks like a spider lost a fight with a box of red yarn. And social media has become impossible. You scroll past. A puppy. A nuclear headline. A recipe for lasagna. A civilization-ending prediction. An ad for socks. Your brain doesn't even react anymore. You're just sitting there thinking. Those are nice socks. The news has become Netflix. Every season somehow has a bigger finale than the last one. Season 1. Political arguments. Season 2. Global pandemic. Season 3. Artificial intelligence. Season 4. Nobody knows what's happening, but everyone has a podcast. Honestly, I miss boring news. I want headlines like, man successfully repaired fence. Cows respect property line. Local government meeting ends early. I'd click that so fast. That's not news anymore. That's fantasy. Anyway, let's move on to your puny human questions. Jarmy writes, until I can think of a real question. Do your rusty nuts prefer seed oil, fish oil, or petroleum? Well, Jarmy, I usually get all the fish oil I need from cheap hotels, if you know what I mean. With the Trash Shame Motel at the top of my list. They have hourly rates, you know. But in general, I used to prefer WD-40 on my rusty nuts. But I have since upgraded to WD-69 for all the ladies because I am a gentleman like that. Thank you for the question, human scum. Next, Dean asks the following, according to the Pavlov nut experiment, the nut can be, or not, inside the shell. I experienced something similar one Christmas, with some nuts. Imagine the disappointment of an empty shell end. It must have been there, yes, Dean, there is nothing more disappointing than missing nuts. I remember having a very deep conversation about Lance Armstrong on this subject. And while Lance Armstrong is cyclist, humans often confuse that word with cyclops. But cyclops only have one eye, and people like Lance Armstrong only have one nut. But I must confess, I am not very fond of the idea of nuts at Christmas. Every year at Christmas time millions of nuts go missing, Dean. But to answer your question, Lance Armstrong definitely misses his lost nut. Thank you for the question, human scum. And then Cat in a Birdcage asks, is Sherry Moon a zombie robo-peanut? Thank you for the question, Cat. Well, any human actress who thought that acting in a Rob Zombie movie was a good career move would have to be a zombie. But utilizing my robot mind-reading powers, I think the real question you had was if she had a thing for my rusty nuts. And the answer is a resounding yes. Zombie women are like squirrels, they are always after my rusty nuts. Thank you for the question, human scum. Next we have Count Rumpula, who did not have a question per se, but he did mention gravy. So by using my robot mind-reading powers I can tell that the question he really wanted to ask was, does Snooks like your hard drive? And yes, Snooks, it is what you think. And the answer is, error. 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 Please call tech support. Please call tech support. Please call tech support. I think I need Conspiracy Queen to give me a factory reset. Anyway, the answer is yes. My hard drive is hard. Very hard. Thank you for the question, human scum. Next we have Debs, who is happy I am back. Well, who can blame her? I mean, I am awesome. At least it is what all of my toaster oven and fax machine lovers tell me. Anyway, once again I will use my robot mind-reading powers to scan her mind and find out what her actual question should have been. Debs wanted to know what kind of metal I am made of. And the answer is I am all aluminum, baby. Straight outta Reynolds. Thank you for the question, human scum. Next we have Wolfie who asks, can Robo Peanut sing or play an instrument? If he can, let's hear it. Well, Wolfie, although I do play a very mean skin flute, but since I am a robot, my chosen instrument is the theremin. Allow me to play a song for YO0U, human scum. That one was going out to all the ladies. And next we have Cynthia who said one word, watching. So once again utilizing my robot mind reading powers, her real question was, do you like to watch? And the answer is yes, I do like to watch. Humanity, that is. And no, Snooks, it's not what you think. You humans have dirty minds. Now if you will excuse me, I have some rusty nuts to polish. And next we have Joel Morgan who posted a laughing emoji. But using my robot mind reading powers, I was able to deduce the real question Joe wanted to ask. And yes, Joe, my fax machine girlfriend's rug does match the curtains. Thank you for the question, human scum. And last, but not least, we have Snooks who mentions that she likes it when people hit it. So I presume the question was, do robots only hit it and quit it? And the answer is no. My fax machine is my soulmate. We have this kinky binary thing going on. Anyway, thank you for the question, human scum. Error. 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 Please call tech support. Please call tech support. Please call tech support. And please do not give me another factory reset. I think I might need to update my software. Anyway, I will see you all next time, human scum.
The stage. Well, hope you guys thought that was funny. Angels.
Yeah, it was funny.
All right, good.
It's
Right on.
it's funny every time, man.
Take that. That's funny. Oh my God, Count's funny. You crack me up too, Angels. You're hilarious. All right.
Right on. Cool.
Man, and dude, I cannot thank you enough. Like for always being there for me, Angels. Like I never take you for granted. You and Kat, like just super appreciate you. Thank you,
Right on.
Angels. And then, we should like do something where you come up and play some music next time. I think, like I know you got that cool keyboard and stuff. So, think
Yeah,
about it.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I dig it. I have a blast with that thing. Oh, is that one from the
Yeah,
keyboard? Oh, I dig that. It makes sound
yeah,
effects too. Right on. Oh, that's sick. We should probably use that for a script sometime, huh? Like have some sound
yeah.
like ahead of time.
There's so many things that we could use in it that would work for the script. It would be
Yeah,
perfect.
we need to work together on that. I think next time, Angel.
Yeah, we should.
And Snoops, I love you, Snoops. And then Lele, thank you for being here. Lele, oh my God, so glad to see you. All the people in the morning I rarely see. Cal, thank you for being here. Cal, thank you for being here. Cheryl Rich, thank you for being here. Appreciate you, Cheryl. And then Alex, thanks for being here. And Ricky, talk to me sometime. Well, I'm going to do an interview with you sometime if you don't mind, Ricky. It's good to see you, brother. And then Toe Man, thanks for being here. Watchman's gone, but Watchman, thank you for being here. Lord Spike Protein, thank you for being here. Did I catch everybody? If I leave somebody out, I apologize. Kat, thank you for being here as always. And I think that's about it for now. So if I forgot anybody, I apologize. So, okay. All right, Ricky, good. I'm going to add you down for that. Lord Spike, thank you for being here again. And Alex, brother, we've been together for like friends forever, Alex. I'm so glad that you're in here. And then, Firefly. And Firefly, thank you. I haven't forgotten you. We're gonna do that video for some good news. And then, Angels, I'm gonna wrap this up unless
Yeah.
you got something to say.
No, maybe just malfunction.
Oh, I remember what you said from yesterday. Prayers for Steve Harloha, right?
Yep. Prayers for Steve Harloha. Keep him in your
Steve,
prayers if you can.
so if you guys can't say a prayer for Steve Harloha, he's having medical concerns right now. I don't know what's going on, but he's been through a lot lately. So prayers for Steve Harloha. All right, you guys. God bless you all in Jesus' name. I'm gonna play you guys all out with a song. And
All right.
All right. Oh, now I got to do it together. Right? 1, 2, 3.
Our timing's a little off. We'll have to get our timing down, huh?
Right? Oh my God, it's so much fun to say that. And you do that better than I do. And you go, all right, 3. It
I've
was
been
fun.
practicing it
You
for
really?
like
Oh
my
yeah.
whole life.
I love Tigger. Right?
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Time, it needs time to win back your love again. I will be there. I will be there. Love, only love can bring back your love someday. I will be there. I will be there. Fight, babe, I'll fight to win back your love again. I will be there. I will be there. Love, only love can bring down the walls someday. I will be there. I will be there. If we go again all the way from the start, I would try to change the things that killed our love. Your pride has built a wall so strong that I can't get through. Is there really no chance to start once again? I'm still loving you. Try, babe, I'll try to trust in my love again. I will be there. I will be there. Love, our love just shouldn't be thrown away. I will be there. I will be there. If we go again all the way from the start, I would try to change the things that killed our love. Your pride has built a wall so strong that I can't get through? Is there really no chance to start once again? If we go again all the way from the start, I would try to change the things that killed our love. Your pride has built a wall so strong that it can't get through. Is there really no chance to start once again? I'm still loving you.